Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your overly caffeinated host, Tony Cañas, who I slept really, really well last night, so feeling much better. Overly caffeinated host, Tony Cañas. And today I have with me Michael Ley, Director of Network Relations at Hawksoft. So first of all, Michael, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
Absolutely. It is going phenomenal. I can't complain. It's been I think 12 weeks of me traveling nonstop. So I know
I,
you travel a lot
I
too.
hear
And
you.
I think, yeah, this week I'm
Dude,
here.
I,
So
same exact. So for the listeners, we're recording on July 1st. Okay. So I'm guessing you're basically sales for Hawksoft. We haven't talked about it yet, right?
right.
But I'm basically sales for this podcast and for Top Hat Recruiting, and I'm also a magician, and I do magic at a lot of conferences. All insurance. So
Okay.
my conference season historically has gone from about the middle of April to about the middle of June, and then in the fall, from about the middle of August to about the middle of October, right?
Yep.
I'm sure
Yep.
yours is very similar, right?
Absolutely.
Um, this year, my conferences started in March at
Yep.
PLRB, uh, and I'm in a bit of a breather, and I have one more because I am attending uh, the first IBA Future Fest out in Santa
Okay.
Monica, California, which is next week. So
Okay.
I'm a like July conference. I think that's a first in
Sure.
my world, right? Because that I can't like I have to start saying spring/summer conference. Like right,
They
my
keep
spring
extending.
conference has grown into the summer. Now, I have
Yep.
spent years complaining about the fact that conferences bunch up, and that means that I end up missing conferences that I'm invited to because they're at the same time as another conference. Uh, so, I mean, thank you to IBA for doing one outside of
Right.
the season, and I'm excited for it. We'll see how it is. Santa Monica is fantastic, and I'm gonna get the chance to go to the Magic Castle for the first time, which is a magician.
That's
It's a
awesome.
huge deal. So, but yes, I feel your pain. I think I have
Yeah.
home, and then I also I went to magic school bookends also. So I did PLRB a week and a half later. April 20th through 27th. I was in Vegas for the 7 day masterclass at the Jeff McBride School of Magic and Mystery, number one the magic school in the world. Changed my life. Went semi-pro
Nice.
after 2 years of being just an amateur. Uh, and then conference season. And then last weekend, I was back at the Mystery School in Vegas doing the summer camp. And I took the red eye back Sunday night, and I zombied through the day yesterday. I'm feeling much better today. Uh, and yeah, one more conference, and then I'm off for the summer kind of thing. So I feel your pain. I hope that you get some rest.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
so
So what
so
you're saying is I'm going to see you on Netflix soon.
uh,
For some magician thing,
uh,
right?
you will most definitely see me at an insurance conference soon, and this time because you'll recognize the top hat, you'll come say hi. So I'm sure we go to a lot of the same
Absolutely.
conferences, right? And I'm hoping to start going to the Hawksoft user group.
Yep. Yep.
Right, this is
Oh,
gonna be
yeah,
very
exactly.
awkward. This is,
Exactly.
by the way, for the listeners, if you're not watching on video, what the poor people watching on video watched just now was me very awkwardly flirting with Michael. All right. So normally we break the ice a little bit over the weather. Oh, wow, we kind of have to. Okay. Um, so Lima, Ohio, according to LinkedIn. Lima, Ohio. Okay.
Lima, Ohio.
So Ohio is a very important insurance state.
It is.
Nationwide,
It really is.
Westfield Insurance, lots of insure tech, several carriers. Like it's a very, very important insurance state. Progressive up in Cincinnati. What's it called? Cincinnati Insurance.
Well, yep. Cincinnati
Progressive up
Insurance.
in
Yep.
Cleveland.
Yep.
Cincinnati
Yep.
Insurance down in Cincinnati. America, Great American, American Modern. You name it. There's so much
Yep.
in Ohio, right? Uh, and also an important one in my history, because I'm a nationwide, or I was a nationwide. A nationwide relocated me from Des Moines, Iowa to Columbus, Ohio. So
Allied. So
correct.
you were
Right.
allied,
So
yes?
by the time I'm not old enough to remember Allied, By the time I came, I started in '09, actually in 10, because I did Farm Bureau of Iowa first. By the time I started in 2010, it was nationwide. Now they were using
Okay.
both brands.
Yep. Yep.
I worked claims for both brands. Then,
Okay.
without an understanding of the difference between the two, by the way, then a year later, I went to underwriting. I moved from third floor at 1100 Locust to fourth floor. So I went from claims for both brands to underwriting small farms for nationwide ag. Uh,
Okay.
and then I was corporate nationwide for the last couple of years.
Okay.
And I worked in four different nationwide offices, four different jobs, 4 different years. So yeah, I know I did a broad tour of nationwide. Nobody liked me enough to keep me, but they all liked me enough to refer me to their fellow hiring managers. I had significant growth at nationwide. So anyway, in Ohio, I met my girlfriend who was another fellow nationwider. And so even though we no longer live in Columbus, we've agreed that Atlanta, Georgia just makes sense for us. We
Yep.
spend a few weeks every summer in Columbus with her family, and we do Christmases in Columbus. And then
Okay.
MagiFest, the oldest magic conference in the US, is also in Columbus, Ohio in January.
Nice.
Anyway, so I have extensive history with Ohio, and most importantly, Lima. So how many jokes about Glee do you get, like, let's say, per conference season?
It's actually not as many as what people think.
Really? Uh,
And it's quite amusing. But actually, when Glee was actually on the airwaves and stuff like that, um, I was part of the Lima Young Professionals group, and
uh-huh.
we were part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau and that kind of stuff. Our group was. We would always send all of the things that were actually Lima related
Uh-huh.
into Glee. And so like I go back and I watch every now and then, and I'm like, I sent that sticker in, I sent that shirt in. Like it was,
Oh my
kind of
God, that
cool.
is
So I mean, you would just see
fantastic.
them like subtly in the background and stuff like that, but it was always really cool.
That
So yeah, we'd
is
always have Glee parties and watch parties and stuff like that to see our stuff in there.
that is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, there is no McKinley High here in Lima.
Uh-huh.
That's not here or anything like that. And unfortunately, I don't even really. I mean, we do have some awesome music programs in our schools, but nothing like that. So
Yeah,
you
I
wouldn't see us
figured.
out there like that.
I figured,
So
yeah. And I hadn't said this on the show, I don't think, but I am a giant geek.
yep,
Yes,
yep,
this is very exciting. All right.
love it, love
Uh,
it.
Fantastic. Normally the transition here is I say we always give the guests a chance to give the elevator pitch, but the majority of the time I have a founder who's been in business for a week or 2 years or
Yep.
3 years. Hawksoft is much more mature than that, so we'll do it a little bit different. So I think that on the agency side of my listeners, everybody will have at least a bare awareness of what Hawksoft is. So instead of the elevator pitch, Michael, so for all the insurance agencies that are listening that either already have an AMS or don't, what is Hawksoft?
So Hawksoft is started out as an app writer. It is now a full-fledged agency management system. We are still family owned and operated by the same founder who started us 30 years ago. We will continue to be family owned and operated. We're not owned by venture capitalists or anything like that. We report directly to agents and agencies, and we take your feedback seriously. So we kind of consider every agency part of the family and continue to grow. So we just launched our newest product out there. Hawksoft 6 is our Hawksoft cloud platform that came out last year. And we're migrating all of our current agencies over to that platform right now, which is basically opening up the lines a little bit. So opening up the API access a little bit more and in taking us to new heights. And so it's been a phenomenal product. Our users are excited for it. But we are a true AMS in the backbone. But what we value about our independent channel and our independent agencies is the fact that you're independent. And you want to be independent and remain independent from those agencies down the street from you and set yourself apart a little differently. So our API access is probably the most robust out there, allowing you to do your tech stack how you want it to be inside your agency. So that's really what sets Hawksoft apart differently from our competitors out there.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay. So here's my mandatory disclaimer. Anytime we talk about agency stuff, I am a giant insurance nerd. I am a giant carrier side insurance nerd. 10 years ago, 10 or so years working for PNC carriers, former underwriter. I like to say I'm a CPC, I'm an underwriter by trade, middle market underwriter by trade. I've done a lot of other things in the industry, but one thing I never did was work for an agency directly. Now,
Okay.
I have served agencies in many ways as an underwriter, both Nationwide Ag and later on at Liberty Middle Market, as a sales manager or marketing rep for the old Nationwide Allied brand
Yep.
in
Yep.
California, and for American Modern in California, and uh, as an advisor and recruiter all over the country for the last several years. So that is my relationship with the agency world. But I have never sat in front of any of the any AMS system. And important, my girlfriend of 12 years now worked at a top 5 global broker whose name I never say out loud anymore. Uh,
Yep.
and she started as an account manager, grew to be an account executive. That was in a local office in San Francisco, California. Then she quit. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia. She went back. She interviewed all different brokers, went back to the same one, this time in a corporate role, and worked first for the small commercial consolidation team. And then she grew to lead that team and finish her career with them after like 7 years as the VP for all of the small commercial account managers. So she led a team of 250 people towards the end of her career there. So basically, I say all that in that I am very familiar with AMSs and what they do and how they do it. And I hear, and I go to so many conferences and talk to so many agencies that I hear the complaints about the different, right? About the different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I we agreed ahead of time that neither of us minded the other one talking about the other AMSs by name because everybody's gonna know who they are anyway. Okay.
Absolutely.
So in the US, there is kind of the 800-pound gorilla, which is Applied Epic.
Yep.
Uh,
Absolutely.
then there is the significantly sized gorilla or chimp.
There you go. Yeah.
Not in an offensive way. Like they're just very large, but not as large
Absolutely.
as Applied, and that'd be Vertafor.
Yep.
And then from my perspective, I don't have the numbers in front of me because I don't keep track of this kind of thing. But just on how often you guys come up in conversation, it does appear to me that Hawksoft is the third of the large ones, and then there's a variety of little ones, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So another important disclaimer. Uh, in the last couple of years, I have a relationship with Applied, and that relationship is the following. They invite me to their fantastic conference, which is called AppliedNet, um, which has switched locations between Vegas and Nashville. Uh, and it is one of the few conferences where they pay for my travel. Most conferences, I cover
Yep.
my own travel, and generally I have a free ticket as media.
Yep.
Applied actually covers my travel, and to be honest, they treat us really well. They take us out to a show and stuff,
Yeah.
and I get to go to a dinner with the other journalists, kind of thing. Uh, and every year, I'm surprised that they keep inviting me back because I do talk a lot about Applied on the podcast, not always positively. So anyway, just wanted to get all that out of the way. Okay, so
Absolutely.
um, interestingly, my perspective, I thought that Hawksoft was a a younger company that it really is. Uh,
Yep.
I assumed that Hawksoft was, I don't know, 5 to 10 years old, uh, and that it had grown to be the third in the market. Uh, so it is rather impressive that you guys are older than that. What I mean by that is a lot of the older technology players have not successfully transformed the technology, and they still have uh, a lot of users, but you don't hear about them in the insurtech world.
Correct.
Well, Hawksoft comes up all the time.
Correct.
and comes
Yep.
up in a positive way. I'm guessing now that I heard your pitch, I think the reason that it comes up in such a positive way is because of the open architecture and the robust API access, because that is one of the
That's one of them.
right
Yeah.
right
Yep.
like the biggest thing people complain about with Epic is the fact that their API is not great, and that in some ways, I'm being very careful what I say, in some ways you have to pay to access your own data, right? Which is something that I
Absolutely.
philosophically disagree with. Uh,
So that's a whole other ballgame with Hawksoft as well. We don't charge you for your data. We believe 100% it is in our terms and conditions.
mhm.
You own your data 100%. We also don't do long-term contracts. So that's another thing that really sets us apart
Really?
as well. So most of our agencies are on month-to-month agreements with
Hmm.
us. We do on occasion do a longer term agreement for certain entities and things like that. But I would probably say 99% of our agreements are all month to month.
That's
And
crazy.
if for whatever reason you choose to leave Hawksoft, you give us 30-day notice and you get your backup. We don't charge you for a cancellation fee. We don't charge you for your data at the end of your term or anything like that. It is yours 100%. You also have full rights to it. So you in our marketplace, if you choose an API vendor that you want, you're turning it on and off. That's not us. You don't call us to make that switch. The good thing about all of our vendors that we have out there on our marketplace is that we have already done the vetting for you. So most of those out there, we're already looking to make sure that, what are the data ownership capabilities
Hmm.
out there? What is it that's setting that vendor apart differently from some of the others as well?
Hmm.
Um, so
Incredible.
those are some main things that, yeah, really set us apart. I think the other thing is again, we're still family owned and operated, and so it is like a family here. We've grown, I would probably say, since COVID, we've doubled the company in size
Really?
since COVID, and so our entire company is remote. We went remote during COVID, but what that allowed us to do is really start going full speed ahead with this new product, that cloud product. And from our support aspect of everything with our agencies, you call into our support center, you're getting a live person. You're getting 97% of those calls are completed and solved within that first phone call. All calls are answered in less than 2 minutes. So I mean, we have a very strong support system out there. And then I would probably say, now, I came from an agency side. We talked about, a little bit of your history with it. I
Mhm.
came from an agency side, and I used Hawksoft for 12 of those years that I was on the agency side. Um, our user group conference is almost like a family, a family thing every year. I mean, you get those people that come back year after year, but it brings back just that mentality that you were really part of that Hawksoft family. Um, we've been told at times it's kind of like a cult feeling at times that but maybe that's the case. But
So
I
that
think what really sets it apart is
uh,
you get to sit with those C-suite individuals. You
so
get to sit with those developers and say, hey, this is what we want in the system. And you come back and there it is. So I mean, we listen to the agents and we put it to
all right.
practice.
So this is gonna be interesting. Okay, so because I've spent a lot of time over this last year thinking about that word you used,
Yep.
about that cult word. And the reason I've been thinking about it, and we got to be careful here. Okay. Number one, I've been thinking about it in a negative way because of the current political situation we find ourselves in.
Correct. Absolutely.
And we won't go too deep into that.
Right.
Uh, but on the other hand, uh, I would be lying if and I haven't not said this on the podcast, but I would be lying if I didn't mention that the Jeff McBride School of Magic and Mystery absolutely has a cult-like feeling in a very positive, loving way.
Absolutely.
But um, like you definitely like question yourself and you go like, am I truly getting so much value out of it that I am desperate to throw another couple of grand at this with the
Right.
travel
Right.
cost and everything, right? Uh, like, am I in a cult, right? And like not in a negative way. It definitely feels like a family. So I completely
Yep.
understand that. Uh, uh, the closest I think I could relate it to is like Scientology, like the right now
Right, right.
they don't charge you to dig deeper into the knowledge. What they're charging you for is just the time of the class, right?
Yep.
Like the faculty's time, and you're paying the travel, which does get expensive. Not for me because I travel a lot, but in general. But so I totally see both sides of the coin. So yeah,
Absolutely.
if it feels a little cultish, but there's no cancellation fees. You're not
Yep.
a 30-day notice, and you hand me the backup, right?
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's not in a physical hard drive. I just wanted to make the expression.
Right, right.
Um,
Absolutely.
and you don't charge me to access my data with whatever vendor I want to access it through. Then that's not the bad cult type of cult,
That's correct.
right?
That's
It's just a
correct.
family
Absolutely.
feeling. Okay, fantastic,
Absolutely.
fantastic. All right, all right. How many agencies, if you guys are allowed to share that number, how many agencies are
Yeah.
on Hawksoft?
We are probably just under 4,000 agencies right now,
So
across the United States. So,
okay, and there are, according to what I've read, about 30 some thousand independent
yep.
agencies. So
Yep.
at 4,000, you guys have a good, like very close to 15% of the market. So that
Yes.
is
Yep.
a sizable part of the market, um, which makes sense why I hear about you guys. And if you were bad, I would hear like you're not small enough to hide from the bad reviews, basically, right?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right. So I'm going over my notes of the pitch. Okay. So how long since it became a full-fledged AMS? So it's been around for 30 years, but it started as an app writer. How long since
Yep.
it's a full-fledged AMS?
Really. So AppWriter so Paul Hawkins, our CEO, was in an agency prior to 1995, and his son and him like computer programming. They couldn't read his handwriting on apps, so him and his son developed the AppWriter that he used inside his agency.
Oh my God, I
And then
love
the
that.
carriers found out, and
Huh?
carriers like, "Hey, how did you fix our misspellings? A on the apps. How are you doing this? And can we like utilize this technology with other agencies?"
So
So
is
they
this like
started
the
selling it.
80s that we're talking about?
Yeah, so this is the early 90s. Yep,
80s,
early
okay.
90s.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So that's when they started selling Hawksoft at that
Uh-huh.
time in 1995. So he left the agency then and started Hawksoft, and it really started out of their house at the time with two, three employees.
And also,
Then
also
it moved
just
to an airport hangar for a little bit,
okay,
and yeah,
pause. So it just hit me that Hawksoft is because his last
yeah,
name is Hawkins. Okay, fantastic.
yep,
So
Hawkins,
three
absolutely.
employees. Then they moved to
Yep.
why an airplane hangar?
Well, that's where they were able to rent space. So they were obviously growing out of their house at the time. They couldn't, add more employees to the house, I guess.
Okay.
So they moved there, and then they built actually where the headquarters office there in Canby, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they've done a couple different things over the years with locations and stuff, but they were actually right before COVID getting ready to break ground on a second building for Hawksoft because they were outgrowing the space that they were in,
How many
and of
employees
course that's
nowadays?
when every so right at COVID they were like 82, 83 employees.
Okay.
We are just breaking 200 now.
Congratulations.
So yes,
Fantastic. And
so
all
yeah,
remote.
full remote. There's probably 4 or 5 people in the actual home office, but they're choosing to go in there
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. Even our CEO, Paul Hawkins, you'll see him if you're on a podcast with him or in a meeting with him, you see his workshop behind him at his house. So he is a woodworker. He actually um, he loves woodworking, and every single piece of furniture inside the actual Hawksoft home office was
Uh-huh.
made by Paul Hawkins. So the desk, the nameplates, everything like that were made by Paul Hawkins.
Fantastic.
So,
Double
but
fantastic.
again, that's that culture that just kind of
Yes.
trickles down,
An
down
actual
into the,
human.
yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly. An actual human that brings his whole self to work.
Absolutely.
I love that. And I'm not into woodworking, but if my CEO brings his woodworking to work, that gives me permission to bring my magic, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Right? You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You
Like
know what? He would probably, if you were in the home office and you brought in Mac, he would probably sit there and love it. I'm
uh,
not, you'd be in one of the
saying that, like
Hawk
he allows
conference
himself to be
rooms.
a real human at
Yeah,
work.
absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
fantastic. So thank you for that. All right. What what kind of agencies are a good fit for Hawksoft? What kind of agencies are not a good fit if that's a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would actually say it's probably one of the biggest misconceptions of Hawksoft. Most people over the years have thought Hawksoft is only for the small guy or the startup
Hmm.
agency. Now we do have startup agencies. We have one user agencies, but our largest account has over 400 users
Hmm.
in it and over 100 locations. Hawksoft can scale and grow with you. It was also a misconception that it was predominantly a personal lines agency or a management system. You can do a full suite of products inside of Hawksoft. So we have agencies that are 100% commercial, 100% personal lines. We also have benefit agencies that utilize Hawksoft. And I always joke, and kind of joke, there's an agency out of Tennessee that uses Hawksoft and they sell shoes outside of their agency as well. She manages her shoe sales inside of Hawksoft. So it's very customizable to where you can do a multitude of things. And that's what we love about it. You can report on just about anything inside of Hawksoft, but it scales and grows with you. So yes, you can be that startup agency, and in 5, 10 years, or whatever the case may be, you might have multiple locations, and you can still utilize Hawksoft and grow with it.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. All right. So are there any type of agencies that are just not a good fit for Hawksoft?
We kind of vet agencies, so we're honest with you through our sales process. So we don't cold call, we don't chase agencies or anything like that. So we find that if you have a certain type of way of doing business or certain types of agencies and things like that, that um, through our demo process, we're going to be honest and say, hey, you know what? This might be a better product for you, and we would refer you to another management system. But a lot of that is based on your culture. It's a lot of based on how you do business inside your agency. Um, Hawksoft could be used for just about any agency out there. But I would also sit there and say, not every agency is a fit for Hawksoft based on how they do business. And so I will put it this way out there as well. Some of the things that people look at is accounting inside of a management system.
Uh-huh.
We do not have embedded accounting inside of Hawksoft. You can do your trust accounting inside of Hawksoft,
Okay.
but your operational accounting, we partner with QuickBooks. So we have
Okay.
QuickBooks integration. We find that most accountants out there prefer QuickBooks. They don't understand the insurance side of accounting, and
Uh-huh.
so that's what we do. So unlike our competitors that are out there, we do not have a full suite of accounting built into Hawksoft. If that's what you're looking for, it cannot happen inside of Hawksoft.
Okay.
You can do all your trust agency bill, that kind of stuff, but we do partner with QuickBooks for that.
Uh,
So
what
if
what
you're
what
in
what what what
a
about what about the commission tracking?
yep,
Uh,
commission tracking can all be done inside of Hawksoft. Yep,
okay, perfect.
absolutely.
Perfect, perfect. All right. All right, all right. Uh,
Now, from your background, you were in ag with Nationwide. We are the first management system out there to actually partner with not only Nationwide, but a few other vendors out there as well, carriers, to do true ag download policies inside of Hawksoft. So
fantastic.
that it is unique to us. They do not download as a commercial package or anything like that. It is a true ag policy. So that is unique to us as well.
That is,
That's
yeah,
one of our newer features
ag
out
is a
there.
weird world,
It is.
because it is a hybrid product, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a yeah, it's their business, but they also live there, right?
Yep.
Or it's their home, but they also sell stuff out of it and grow
Yep.
stuff for sale. They have commercial liabilities. Uh,
Absolutely.
so yes, my world was particularly weird at Nationwide Ag because I did small farms, and whatever year that was, the farming economy wasn't doing great. So we had lots of agents getting creative and doing things like agritourism and hay rack rides and corn mazes and all sorts of crazy stuff that is hard to
Yep.
for when you're trying to insure a farm. So yeah, it's a very interesting world. Only there for a year. I don't have an ag background prior, and I was very glad to move on. Like I was very glad to get my underwriting experience and
Yep.
to move on to areas of the industry that make more sense to me since I don't have a farm background. But yeah, um, what is the transition like? So the reality is
Yeah.
most clients. I mean, yes, if you have a brand new agency, like that, this is easy, right?
Yep.
But if you already have an AMS, one of the two big ones, what is the transition process like?
Absolutely. So one of the first things that I would always try to encourage agencies to look at is when is your contract ending?
Mhm.
Unlike us who do month to
Expiration
month,
date.
sometimes you're in a contract for a
What's
long
your
period of
X
time
date?
and people don't realize that. They also don't realize that it automatically renews for X amount of years. And
Really?
so there are times we run into agencies that had no clue that they just renewed for another 5 years, and
Oh,
that
so
sort of
it's not
thing.
even a year by year thing.
No, no. So it depends on the contract. So definitely look at the contract and see, and do your due diligence. Start to look in advance. So what's the timetable that it's going to, you know, look like? We can't. It's not an easy process to say, okay, this is can be done and switched out in 30 days. You're going to be looking at a number of months in advance.
Okay.
To switch out. So that's always my first caveat is to always look at your term that you're currently in and then investigate what it's going to be to purchase your data from that system. Because there is a range of dollars. And depending upon your agency, the amount of data, sometimes it could be a couple thousand, sometimes I've heard thousands of dollars to get your data out of that system. And then we're at liberty of that system and getting that data. So you can sign your contract with Hawksoft. Once we get that data to put into our system, it happens over a weekend. We scrub the data, we put it in. We are pretty blunt and honest with you about what is going to come over from that system and what is not. We try to get all of the data possible from that system, but we know those systems and we know what is going to come over and what's not. So we let you know what is going to be there for you. The good thing is most of that stuff, once you turn on downloads through Ivans and things like that, that information is going to come over, which is good. All of your tasks, all of your notes and stuff like that generally are always coming over. Um, but the process, we make it pretty simple. So again, it happens over a weekend. Once we get that data, we scrub that. You come in and you look to make sure everything is where it needs to be, and you're good. We kind of do all of the training then at that point. Our training is unique to us. We do about a 12-week training process. You do have a dedicated trainer that works with you through that 12 weeks. It's usually about an hour a week, and it's setting up the system for your success. We do have videos out there, we do have some training guides out there, but we definitely prefer that handheld approach to make sure that you are set up for success inside of Hawksoft.
That was a you're a well-trained salesperson.
And
That
so the
was
funny thing is I'm not even on the sales team. I am a hybrid between
okay.
marketing and sales. I'm the
That's
misfit. I'm the redheaded stepchild, is
perfect,
what I call it.
perfect, perfect,
So
perfect. Because the beginning of your speech was a very politically a very well marketed way to say it takes a while, but it's not us.
it's true.
Once
True
once we
story.
once we get your data, it's a weekend.
Once we get it,
Yeah,
once we get it.
getting to a point of getting your data. Well,
That's right.
this is gonna hurt, right? But it's not
Yep.
us.
Yep. That's right. We try to make it easy on our end. We try to make it as fun as possible on our
Perfect.
end.
If
Um,
honestly, if I didn't come from the industry, like if you were being interviewed by a for whatever reason by a guy who didn't come from insurance, I would think you're BSing me. But no, this tracks everything I hear
yep. Yeah, that's about accurate.
out in the world. So it makes sense. All right, perfect. So no contracts, API, like best in class API. Uh, we don't charge you to access your data or to take it away if you decide to go
Yep.
elsewhere. Um, yes, the transition process to come on will be painful, but it will help you through it. Um, the uh the rumors that you are for small agencies only and that you are for personal lines only are not true, just
Yep.
misunderstandings in the market. Um, what else is important? About 4,000 agencies, can't be wrong. So
Yeah.
I have to say, yes, 4,000 agencies with no long-term contracts and with nothing from your side specifically designed to keep them from switching. That
Yep.
speaks that, yeah, that knowing what I know about the industry and after 700 episodes of interviewing tech people, that speaks very, 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 very good of Hawksoft. What else?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Hawksoft 6 cloud.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, tell us about Hawksoft 6. I mean, everybody's transitioning to cloud. Uh,
Yep.
is
Yep.
there anything?
Almost everybody. So backstory with Hawksoft is you could purchase it for a local server inside your own office, or you could purchase it for what they called Hawksoft Online, and you were third party remoting into a server farm somewhere to get your data.
Mhm.
Um, that plagued the system for a number of years. Connectivity issues, that sort of thing. And of course, while I don't want to say it was not on Hawksoft, the fact of the matter is Hawksoft name was on the product, and so you were selling the product. It's on Hawksoft. And
Ah,
so we had to start developing a product that was true cloud. One, for a number of reasons. One, to get rid of the connectivity issues, and
uh-huh.
two, to really scale and grow with the API access and where we wanted to go with our products down the road. Um, and so by doing so, we came up with what we call currently Hawksoft 6, but it's really Hawksoft Cloud. And it's a hybrid approach. So you still have an app on your desktop, and it's the Hawksoft app. And that's because so many of our users were so used to the actual computer program of Hawksoft and the keystrokes and the functions and how it worked, that if we went true cloud based, I mean, we are cloud based, but if we went to a true like browser based system, you wouldn't have some of those functionalities anymore. And so right now we're a hybrid approach. So we
Okay.
do have the app on your desktop can be accessed remotely from anywhere, but you can also access certain pieces of our function or our product in a browser as well. And we will continue to put more things in a browser. So that is the true thing that's out there now. What it also then allows is when we had the systems that plagued us with connectivity issues and things like that in the past, and the system was down, now it's pockets of things that are down. So it could be a functional piece of the product where you could still use the other functions and continue about your day. And it may only be a few minutes that are down because now we're able to get it back up in a timely fashion and not have to rely on server farms. So that is our cloud product. Yes, over the last year, 2 years, we've been migrating agencies over. We're now all of our current online users, Hawksoft online users, have migrated over, and now we're working on our local users. So those in the um, have their local servers. That should be finished up into the beginning part of next year. But now our development team is looking on the horizon and saying, okay, we have what we call parity with version 6 and version 5.
Uh-huh.
Where are we going? What's the plan? Where do we want to go with this? What types of features are agencies needing and wanting? And so our development calendar keeps getting longer and longer, and now it's like, where do we want to wait? This one now takes precedence. Nope, now this one does. And it's that's always a hard line to kind of figure out. But it's allowed us to scale and grow our dev team to make sure that we're there for the agencies, for the agency of the future, and what it is that they're looking for. So post COVID, we know a lot of people need tech now. People are doing video chats, they're doing video messaging, video proposals out there. They're also needing to communicate with their agencies more, or with their clients more. So is that texting capabilities? Is it email communications? Is it the CRM? What are those capabilities that people are needing inside their agency? And that's what we're starting to kind of build out and look at. A, are we building it? Or B, is there somebody out there that's doing it better? And we just need that API access with them. And to make sure that, hey, we can help promote that with the agencies too. So yes, Hawksoft 6, it is growing, it's scaling. A lot of people are scared that their data might be in the cloud, but it is actually
Mhm.
more secure that it's there. We have all of our safeguards in place. We do all the backups for you and everything as well for that. But it is definitely more secure, and it's online a lot more. The other thing is what agencies tend to not realize is that your data is really already out there in the cloud if you're using some of these other vendors. and things like that too. So it's already there. You're already using cloud functions. You just weren't necessarily realizing it.
All right. All right. All right. So I always like to look at the website. It doesn't show on the stream, but I'm just
Right.
going
Right.
through it and talking about it a little bit. Uh, so pop-up, it's not a pop-up, it's a pop-in.
Yep.
Are you signing away ownership of your agency data to the technology partners you use? Download the white paper. Made me laugh.
Imagine that.
We were talking
Imagine
about that a
that.
little bit
We
ago.
talk about data ownership. Yep.
Right, right. I'll say it out loud. All right.
That's right.
And at the very top of the page, the 800 number and the email. So that tells me, that points to what you were saying, a real human
Yep.
has. By the way, within 2 minutes, a real human
Yep.
checks.
Absolutely.
Uh, View
Absolutely.
your agency superpowers. Choose the right agency management system. 18 years average time that an agency stays with Hawksoft. 18 years without long-term contracts or penalties to leave. You know?
Yep. And I
Uh,
would actually probably say, and we've talked about this on our marketing team, that probably number might be higher now. Because I would probably say for 5 years I've been using that 18-year
it's probably
figure.
22 or 23 now.
But it might be a little bit long. But what we're also finding is through COVID and post-COVID now, we have a lot of agencies that are doing acquisitions. And so
Oh,
that
yes,
could
yes, yes.
be, that could be still realistically.
All right.
But we still have a number of those first 10 users, 10 agencies that signed on with Hawksoft back in
Wow.
1995. We still have a number of those still using Hawksoft. So
The
absolutely.
only AMS with a 97% recommendation rate,
Absolutely.
97% first call resolution when agencies call on us for help.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot more on the website. The website is very well done, but we're kind of running out of time. And top 100 workplaces in Oregon since 2015, now completely remote friendly. Yeah, there's a lot on the website, which makes perfect sense. But I'm sold. I'm sold.
Absolutely.
I'm not opening an agency to get Hawksoft, but if life gets crazy and I end up running an agency, I will definitely look at Hawksoft first.
There you
Uh,
go.
yeah, I'm sold. Michael, a real pleasure. Uh,
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
for real. Like I had only heard positive things about Hawksoft. I just assumed that it was a younger, newer company. Uh, Knowing that very impressive. Very, very impressive that the culture of the company has managed to modernize, go remote, things like that. And that has either allowed or enabled the modernization of the technology itself, so that you don't end up being one of the many vendors in our industry who's been around for a long time, but
Absolutely.
where there are no tears lost
That's right.
for right. Um,
Now I do have a question on
yes.
Magic here. So our social media guy who helped set you and I up for this podcast today, his name is Jeff. He and I are pizza fanatics. Okay, we did a pizza
Woo!
podcast back in, oh gosh, April Fools. So if you look at our we have a podcast out there for Hawksoft, but we April Fools we took over and did a pizza podcast instead.
Mm,
Jeff and our podcast guy. So anyways, what we really want, and I need a magician to do it because our
yes,
development team hasn't done it yet.
yes.
We keep asking, but we have hotkeys at the top of Hawksoft in the top row, and it's quick keys to get to different pieces of the
Uh-huh.
system and things like that. I need a pizza button so I can order pizza. Can you make it happen? Your little magician. I
Look.
need magic in there so I can get a pizza button and I can hit it and it's going to order my favorite pizza and have it delivered to me
So
inside my agency
on the top of what do you want?
on the top of Hawksoft, like in the program itself. Okay. We keep joking
ChatGPT.
about it and
Yeah,
it's just not happening yet. So
ChatGPT can definitely generate the mock-up for you for sure.
absolutely. Oh, they will. They
Uh,
will.
and
Yeah.
I am a pizza fanatic myself. If you do
Awesome.
another pizza, uh,
Podcast. We need to have you on.
please.
We have a pizza map actually of the United States. So with all of the travel, the people at Hawksoft, we actually
Send
are
that
like,
over,
hey,
please. So
we, we
email
need
me
we
that.
need to we need to
Michael,
so
a real pleasure. I'm gonna finish recording and stay on the line for a second.
absolutely.
Real pleasure.
Yes.